Mark, why don't you hit us with a recap of the events of Amazing Spider-Man Volume 6, number 68.
We open with Peter still not caring about anything, but Syra lets him know that there's something he has to see. And indeed, just as I jokingly predicted last episode, they're all gone. Randy, Shay, May, some other guy who really doesn't matter, but they're dead. And it's all Peter's fault. Peter stupidly cries in disbelief because this is not the reality Syra showed him, when every bit of narrative exposition told him that what he saw was just a possibility, and yada yada yada. Spider-Man is back, and this may be the most emotional return since Howard Mackie and John Byrne pretended that Peter retired for like 11 minutes in 1999. So Peter uses his remaining reads a Ramalama Ding Dong and brings them all back. And they don't remember how they died because sure, why not? I can just make up the rules as I go too. For example, Dan, now I'm going to do this recap set to electric jazz. But actually, let's make sure it's royalty-free electric jazz because, you know, we have rules and we got to keep it. Or electric jazz that's so obscure that no one is actually going to sue us. All right. Anyway, Spider-Man and Syra join Juggernaut and the X-Men in the fight against the blighted Calyx. They fight back and forth until Calyx explodes his dogs and Syra transport herself and Spidey to a place between the Scion's world and Earth. Meanwhile, everyone else in Manhattan is infected with the blight and begin killing the things they love the most, except for Juggernaut, because he's part Sidorak or whatever. So now our heroes have got to stop Calyx and the blight, the real villains of the story. I think the real villain is the editorial team that keeps putting us through this as they kill the thing they profess to love the most, the Amazing Spider-Man, but I digress. So Syra and Spidey go to Sidorak's lair where they discover that all the Scions were killed by Calyx, and Sidorak is just sitting in the chair like he's Joe Biden in 2024. Now a freshly angered Syra is going to take the fight to Calyx, except Calyx sneaks up behind Spidey, snaps his neck, and now it's over because he's out of reeds. And even though this whole Covenant thing stopped being the story ages ago, we've got to point death and 2 more issues to keep this charade going.